Okay, we are back with another episode of Your True Sons, brought to you by the Players Lounge. I've been told forgive me. I'm Kevin Rutland. I'm here with Jeremy Maclin. I'm here with Sean Weatherspoon. I've been told I got to go right to him. So, J-Mac, you got something to say? Let's hear you. The floor
Yeah,
is yours.
yeah. Man, we watched the game.
Mm-hmm.
Hardy put on an absolute show. He showed strength. He showed balance. He showed speed. Right? Like, I truly believe that had we beat Bama or really Bama, Vandy, or A&M, one of those three teams, I think that he's the Heisman front runner. I really do. Like, you're sitting at 8-2, you're in the playoff picture, you're in the SEC, you're the leading nation rushing leader.
Mm-hmm.
I just and I hope, right? Because I'm looking around the league, right? You look at, you know, who's up, right? People talk about Jeremiah Love, right? From
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame, right? We all know that
He's
when
real.
running backs, yeah, when running backs win it, right? You gotta like it's gotta be glaring, right? Because this thing has turned into what basically a quarterback award. Other than I
Yeah.
think didn't Travis win it last year, Hunter?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? So like or
But
something
typically
unique.
we know
Yeah,
it's QBs. Yeah.
so man, he's putting on a show. I just really wish we would have got one of those games. I think I would feel a lot more comfortable about this take. Um, but you look at him, you look at Jeremiah Love, and you look at Lacey from Ole Miss, right? I think he's leading the nation with 19 rushing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but man, Hardy's averaging almost 7 yards a carry. He's leading the nation. Uh, I mean, dude, 15, 16 touchdowns, I think, something like that. Like that's
15.
special.
15.
That's special. That's
But
special.
can we say something because I don't want to put it on him. It's a team sport, but he didn't have the same type of performances against the Bamas of the world, the A&Ms of the world. Actually, A&M, he actually ran the ball pretty well. And Vandy, not to say Vandy of the world, but it seems like just like this season, it really hasn't shown up against the top tier talent, the top 10 teams in the country. You know what I mean? And
I
that's
think
why
it
I'm
comes.
like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah, I think it comes down to having that Heisman moment, right? Right. You talk about that
Mm,
Heisman moment, like everybody kind of says, like when everybody's Heisman campaign, you have that Heisman moment. And
yeah.
if we beat Bama or you beat Vandy or A&M, and he has a good game, that's kind of that Heisman moment. And unfortunately, we didn't get the job done. Yeah, we got to go to Norman, and I think if we go to Norman, knock him off, and he has a good game, I think maybe it's another conversation, but. And I think it's going to be hard pressed right now with having 3 L's on the on the record, um, and not having that Heisman moment in any of those three losses.
I agree. And so shout out to Hardy because he's playing great ball. Spoon, you got anything on Hardy right now? Or you want to get right into the defense from last week?
Yeah, definitely, man. I think the one game where he didn't have the statistics was the Auburn game. I happened to be at that game. He
Oh
carried it. He
yes.
he carried it quite a bit for about 2.2.5. Every other
Mm-hmm.
game is over 4.5, and so it goes back to coaching. Got to
Mm.
get him the ball more, give him more opportunities, and I think you win those games. You're definitely talking about him going to New York. But if you just look at his body of work, it's there, and he still had two meaningful games to go out there and put it on the line. And this one coming up, he could have another moment against a really good Oklahoma team on the road that could really cement himself to going to New York or not. I think if he has a
Yeah.
great game in this one.
Yeah. So I was talking to a
Well, real quick, do you think he
yeah.
has a chance to win it?
No, no,
Or
no,
if
no.
it goes,
I
okay,
mean,
No,
okay,
no, no, no,
no,
no, no,
no.
no, no, no.
I
So I
think
was
I think
talking
it's the kid from Indiana. I think it's his to lose.
quarterback.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So I was talking to another running back and after this game and I showed him Hardy's stats for the season and that he went for 300 yards and that individual said, "What year is he?" I said, "He's a junior." He said, "He needs to leave." Is he going to leave? Is it wise for him to leave as a tailback? J-Mac, you saying yes.
Yeah.
He's our
First
running
of
back.
all, yeah, but hey, I'm a realist, right? Got to be real
Yeah,
about it. Yeah.
yeah, you do.
We stand for what reason? You're a running back, right? We all know the what do they call it, the
Shelf life is,
career, the
yeah,
shelf life,
yeah.
right? I mean, you've proven that you can do it against top notch competition when you left you right. So
Mm-hmm.
what else? What else are you waiting for now? If you think that you can re up and win a national championship next year, then Okay, I understand that. But other than like from, I mean, I don't. You really don't see running backs like, hey, this is where you get drafted. You really don't see running backs like, oh, come back for another year, and all of a sudden their draft
Yeah,
stock
you
goes through the
improve your
roof.
stock. Right.
Yeah,
It doesn't
it
happen. It's
kind
a
of is
good
what it
point.
is. Yeah.
Spoon, what do you think?
You got to chunk up the deuces. It would be nice. It'd be nice to have him. I think,
Yeah.
we'd love to see him come back for another year. But I look at Ollie Gordon 2 years ago out of Oklahoma,
Yes.
Hmm.
State, led the nation in rushing. Had a great season. Probably been a top 2 round back coming out.
Hmm.
Not last year's draft. Last year's draft, I think Miami took him in the fifth. And I mean, this is
Yeah.
a guy that's about 6'2", 230 pounds, durable, athletic looking kid. And he went back to school and it didn't do anything but hurt him.
Good point.
Now, granted, he got to go back and, experience that with his guys and be, the
Hmm.
man that he was on campus there and accomplish different goals that he set for himself. But for the longevity of his NFL career, I think it was a mistake. And I think Hardy has to look at it that way. The benefit of that we have 2 backs. Like
That's true.
that's what's really cool. So if he could come back and have a different type of role, but he's only at 197 carries right now,
Yeah.
which doesn't seem like,
Jeez.
a bell cow workhorse type of thing. So I mean, he's fresh enough and he's riding that horse chaotic all up and down Providence. So I know the man in good shape. He in good shape, man. He know how to ride and run, and I love to have him.
I was gonna say this. We also don't know what type of NIL compensation he's getting either. So
Thank
like
you.
maybe that's incentive to come back.
I mean, he brought a
It
stable
might
of horses
be.
to Como.
So yeah.
It might be like J Mac, you left early. I think if you were getting NIL money, would you have stayed?
N- I think at that time probably not. Like we,
How
we
dare
weren't
you?
no, because we weren't capped. Like you gotta think about it, man. I was a first round draft pick before the caps and all this other. I think Spoon was the last class to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Okay.
my class was second. So like, I mean, I would highly doubt that I would have been making that much in college. You know what I mean?
No,
So
yeah, you wouldn't have.
you know, um, yeah,
But you could have
I
stayed
don't
back
think I
with
would
your
have stayed.
friends.
Yeah, I miss you. Y'all came to visit me.
Let's get into the past game. We won the game 49-27. I'm not sure if any of us were right about the prediction. I know I was the furthest away from being correct. I
Mm.
did not see 49 points from this team. And I'm glad we did it, but I kind of think it's a little bit of like, it's kind of misleading and deceiving. You scored 49 points. You scored on defense
Twice.
twice,
Mm.
and your
I
running back
caught
had
I caught
300 yards.
I
You
caught one on
did.
defense.
Yeah. And your tailback had 300 yards. What does that say about our offense? J Mac, let's start there. Do you believe in
Well,
it
first
now,
of
or is
all,
it like,
well, no, first of all, I do want to still shout out the defense. Anytime you can put two in the end zone, that's great.
mhm.
Shout out to Marvin Burks Jr., right? Had a
Yes.
crazy day. I think
Yes.
12, 13 tackles, a pick six, was all over the field. Honestly, man, it was like what we all have been expecting, man. So I think,
That's true.
he had an awesome day. Oriano being that glue guy that the ball found him a couple of times. So it
Mm-hmm.
was
Yeah.
really, really cool to see, and especially those St. Louis guys go out there, man, and really have a good day. Um, Offensively, right, it was some positive things. Of course, we ran the ball really, really well.
Mhm.
But Zollis gave one a chance. He made a play in the end zone. It was good to see, Manning get the ball in his hands and see, he's a big kid that can
He's a
like
big
he could
kid.
run. He could
Yeah.
run too.
Yeah.
So those are all good. Still, you know, I, I don't really know. Like, it's hard for me to like judge it because we just had the ground game going so good. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, all right, well, why do anything else? Because even Jamal had really really good space and really really good chunk runs. So like,
He was five a pop.
yeah, you know what I mean. So like, it was like, why you didn't have to throw the ball? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. True. I
So
mean,
it's hard to judge it. There was a turnover. I think Zollers kind
yeah.
of let one get away from him.
Hmm.
But it was good. Like I said, it was good to see the 50-50 ball. It was good to see a little hitch route, get the ball out, got the ball out in space to Kevin Coleman.
Yeah, he
So
looked
it was
good.
a positive. But I don't think it's hard. Like I said, it's hard to judge because we didn't have to drop back and throw it around or anything like that when everything else is working so well.
Right. Spoon, what did you see from the defense that you thought was exceptional? And did you see any kind of holes in the defense, or were you overall pretty pleased?
I saw resiliency. I saw, those guys knuckled up. It was a red zone stand they had where they probably winning. They probably had like 12 plays from the 10 in. There's quite a few
Yes.
penalties. I mean, it made you want to cut off the game. It was like, man, what's going on here? There's like 5 minutes down here with the
Yeah.
defense just standing tall, no matter what adversity they were dealt. And that's when I knew like this game would be in check. And then they were trying to kick their field goal, and then they botched it, right. And then all of a sudden,
Hmm.
Toriano was running down the sideline, toe tapping, and you
Yeah.
just kind of knew that that's the type of play we needed to make for our young quarterback who's, throwing the ball for 120 yards essentially, and
Yeah.
what, 8 completions, or something like that. Like it's
112, 8 completions. Yeah.
it's just going to be tough, when you don't have the run game and you have to rely on that to go down. So the defense was it was an extension of the offense
Hmm.
out on Saturday, man. And like you said, Burks played a hell of a game. Pride played a hell of a game. To lose Trotter and to have other guys step up and play well,
Hmm.
I thought that was very impressive by the defense, and
Did we
that'll be
lose
good
two
to go
people?
forward.
We lost two
Yeah,
people,
we
right?
we yeah we lost 90. We lost 90 on a hit on the
Okay.
quarterback.
Yeah. Early.
And then we
Yeah.
lost Trotter on a hit on the quarterback when the guy's kind of sliding, no penalties, no nothing. And I know we were talking about that targeting rule.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, if he don't lead the game, well, I gotta lead the game. If I take him out, then take me out. But the penalty should be, that should be good enough. The penalty should be good enough. You back him. I mean, you move him forward. You
Yeah.
punish. It just sucks to see a guy that's just playing football have to leave the game because of a bang bang play. If it's very malicious, where it's like, this guy's like Spike hit Junior in the back on Little Giants. If it's like that, we got to get you out of the game. But if it's just bang bang
Yeah.
football play, man, let's let the kids play. But I was very impressed with the defense. Resiliency was the key word I took from him.
Hey, I agree with that take too, Spoon. If it's not like malicious and we're not trying to hurt someone and it's not like an egregious play, don't throw a kid out of the game. Like it's bang bang, you know what I mean? Especially with 90. That was like, wait, what are we doing? That was questionable in my opinion.
Maybe we should have a penalty box. Like a penalty box. Like, hey, go to
Oh,
the
like
box.
hockey.
Yeah, go to the
Go
box,
sit
man.
down for a
Get your
little
stuff
bit.
together over there in that box, son.
Let's get a penalty box for those kind of plays just to say, watch it. I like that. So look,
Be good.
going back to this game, J Mac, you made a good point. You didn't have to necessarily see a lot like some type of well-rounded machine because we ran the ball so well. But I do think something you said in previous shows, J Mac, is that this is the SEC, and every week a team can beat you. And I'm going to give Mizzou a lot more credit for this win than I initially would have because Mississippi State was 5-5. We were 6-3. Comparable records in a sense, right? We're both inching to 6 wins. And to come away with the win in the fashion that we did, running the ball the way we did, when it seems like every team in that conference knows we're going to run the ball, I am impressed. So, Jimmy, yeah, you're right. We didn't have to do everything, but I think it's something to be said to run the ball that way when every team knows you're going to run it.
Yeah.
Is that special, or did we kind of get lucky, or is this just saying, hey, Hardy is just that good of a player, J Mac?
I hate using the word luck, but I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, you look at one of them, he ran a little off tackle, outside zone. He kind of was like in the side of the crowd, then all of a
Yeah.
sudden broke out, scores a
Boom.
12, 13-yard touchdown. Like so,
That run was crazy.
yeah, it's a bunch
That
of
was
that type
special.
of stuff, man. That I mean, who knows? On any other game, he might get tackled right there. You know what I mean? So I think it was just
Yeah.
one of those nights, man, where you just had it going.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've all been there, right? I've been there as a receiver. You guys have been
Hmm.
there on the defensive side where you just feel like, I'm just all over the place. I'm making
Nothing can
plays.
stop me. Yeah.
Yeah, he just had it going. So, um, I mean, to ask him to sit up there and do that all the time, we know that's not possible. But it was good though, man. It was good to see it. It was good. It was good to see, the passing because the passing game was working early, right? It was
It
working
did
That's
work
early,
early.
that's key.
and I think it was working early, and then all of a sudden we just kind of got into this groove of running the ball, and like so
Hmm.
that's why, like I said, it's really hard to judge. Um, but it was good for us. I said, you made a comment last week about me making a comment about these next games being important for the future of Missouri
Hmm.
football. The same is said right now, right? Because you're competing with these transfers. I mean, for these schools for transfers, you're competing with these schools for recruits. And
Hmm.
then I think it was very smart of Drink to hop on there and say, hey, this whole playoff or buff mentality needs to go. I think that was extremely smart of him and
Uh,
very strategic. But I do believe that in a sense, I believe what he's saying. I do know that like with the trajectory of our program, like maybe not bust, but like oh, a little let down that we didn't make the playoffs, right? And I think that's kind of how I feel this year. I'm a little let
Yeah,
down that like, dang, we couldn't get it done.
yeah.
It's not a bust season for me, right? It's not a bust season for me. I'm a little let down that we didn't, you know, beat one of the teams we needed to beat to be able to still be in the conversation.
Spoon, I want to hear your take on that. Was it playoff or bust for you?
um, no, because there was so much that was unknown about this team.
Yeah,
We had quarterbacks that were coming in. Of course, you pay the quarterback to come in. You expect him to play at a high level, but I thought he would make us from about a 8 to 9 win team to maybe a 10 or 11 win team. So it could possibly be playoffs, but it could be exactly where we are. So I think moving forward, the result of how the running back is playing now, the offensive line has played all year, we'll be able to
Yeah,
plug and play some guys that'll be coming in because they'll see, oh, Missouri gonna run that football. If the
hmm,
running back goes to the league, there's an opportunity there. They got a young quarterback, that has shown some signs. He started really fast his last game, so it's still a
yeah.
place where like we're just those pieces away from being, playoff or bust. I think when the expectations are higher, then that's when it's there. I think it was higher for us because we're so close to it.
Okay, yeah, okay. Because
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe you guys are both right. Because for me, it was playoff or bust. Given how we started the season, you had some early success, and you start looking down the road. You say, okay, we really just have to beat A&M, maybe beat Bama, and we're in. We beat one of those
yeah.
games. You might have a chance of beating because you don't look at Vandy preseason and say Vandy's going to be a test, even though they turned out to be a
Well,
test.
yeah, I mean, we went to overtime with them last year at our play, so I kind of had my mindset on them. But to be honest, where it kind of gets tricky with me is that we knew all year we couldn't stretch the field with our vertical passing game.
That's a
And
good
so
point.
we knew that from the beginning. And we talked about it every week. So if we were going to rely on the run game to
To
just
kick,
cut through
yeah,
the SEC for a playoff run, then we're
That's
just
tough.
like, we just can't rely on that. And I think
good
that's
point.
why it's not playoff or bust for me. But I get it. I totally get it. We have the team to be playoff or bust because we've seen it. And
Right.
when we look how we look, I mean, it's damn good when you look like how you look on Saturday night.
Yeah.
I saw some on
Dominant.
social media. I saw some on social media today, and it was ranking the most talented rosters in college
Mm.
football, and Missouri was top 25. So like, I mean, it's going in the right direction, man. And it's just, but top 25 is I think we're like 22. Guess what we're
And
ranked this week? I think
that's
what are we
about where
ranked
we
this week?
rank.
22,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
23, yeah.
Uh,
Well,
go ahead.
what about this?
Go ahead.
If we were still in the age of the BCS, then no, I'm not upset. I don't think it's a bust year because then it's like, well, only your top two get in. But once you start opening that field and letting more teams in, I think the playoff or bust for a team like Mizzou does come into play. It's like, hold on, you got 12 teams gonna make it. You can't crack that code, and that's why I think every season moving forward and that's a testament to what Drink has done here. It's
It
always going to be playoff or bust for me.
If,
I understand that, Kevin, but this the SEC too, though. Like it's like, and you got
and
so many
Drink
spots
got us
coming
10
out
wins
from
2
other
years in a
conferences,
row.
right?
but I think you guys are making the point for expanding this thing to 16 teams, and I think when we're at 16, I think now that our bus mentality probably would be more of how I would
Definitely
feel.
then.
You know what I mean?
But
Because we're if we beat Oklahoma and we close the season against Arkansas the right way, we're gonna be hovering right around there. You know what I mean? So like, I do think that like if we
I
were,
still wouldn't put
go
us
ahead.
in though. You
Well,
got three losses.
it just depends on what happens in front of us because you still got a bunch of two-loss teams, and really we're behind two, three-loss teams.
You got
You know what I
four
mean? Two.
two-loss teams.
You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on what happens right there in front of us. So I do think that if it was a 16-team playoff, I do think that would be smart. I also think that like this shows that we're probably with the parity now of in college football. I think you probably should move to 16
Explain why. Why?
because I think they're still really good teams. I think when Miami's playing really really good ball, I think they can beat anybody in the country. Like it's just all about can you play really good ball every single week, and I do think like you know I'm looking at these teams right that are kind of on the outskirts looking in. Like I mean
Mac, I'm gonna say it,
Go ahead.
Mac.
talk to
They
me.
need they got to expand it because what's it called? The other is it G5? Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
The
G5.
group five, yeah.
They got an automatic spot.
Yeah, I
That's
think that eats at me too a little bit.
yeah.
I
That's a
think
good
I like
point.
that.
I think there should be like you almost gotta like qualify to be able to be in the pool to like like you know what I mean? I just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But so like
it's
think back to the days that we played, or
mm-hmm,
even prior to us. You get the games of Boise State versus Oklahoma,
mm-hmm,
where they the statue playing. You get those wins, right? There's a place for the group five. There's a place for
mm-hmm.
it, but I don't know if we necessarily need to put them in the same category as the Power Four. We got to find a way to
But
get them in, but don't kick
yeah,
out a Power Four team for them.
yes. So my thing is it almost like it shouldn't even be every year, I don't think. It should be like a special
Oh,
team. Like that Boise State team was special. Right? I
yeah,
don't like
yeah. Is there a
and I
special
hate to
Group
say
Five team
this.
now?
The top Group 5 team right now is probably James Madison. They lost at Louisville, but they've come into they've come into the G5, and I mean very quickly they've established themselves
So
as a pretty dang good team.
so
So
how is
wait,
it ranked? How is it ranked? You got James Madison, North Texas, and then
It's Navy.
Tulane. Tulane.
Tulane.
And
Okay,
then North Texas got mollywopped by South Florida. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
it's their
Who
only loss.
did
Yeah,
beat Florida, but like when they played Miami got beat up on. They play you know what I mean? So like
yeah,
I
yeah.
it,
So
it
look,
has to
if you
be
go to
like
yeah,
what you've done, but also maybe like there's an eye test that you gotta pass with the
They
selection committee as well,
they
you know?
they got to schedule some better games in their exhibition games, I think, and that'll
oh
make it a little bit more even for me because when I'm looking at the teams that these people have beat, it's nothing
yeah,
really, where you're like, oh, that's a great win, and I think other teams that'll
zero
be
great
ranked
wins.
around there, a P5 or what's it called, P4, a P4 team will be punished
Hmm.
for not having a tough,
That's
let's say
true. They
not
will
Notre
be
Dame at
punished.
least, I guess.
Uh Notre Dame sitting at number 9. Look, so this is Mac. Let's go back to the 16 team uh, proposal. If Ohio, so then Ohio State would have to play USC as it stands today. Is
Well,
that a close game?
it depends. So like it's
Well, I mean,
so
you're right. They would have bye weeks, so you're right. They get a
yeah,
bye.
so it would be well yeah, the first 8 would get buys.
That's too
Wait,
many buys. That's crazy.
no, I'm tripping. I said that wrong. You would get how would they do it?
Well,
I don't
Maybe
know
last year
how.
it
have
was
So
four.
16.
It was
the
four
first
buys
four
with
had buys.
12,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So then you have to give. Oh, does that mean it's 8? I don't know, but so you have some bye weeks, so that means one doesn't play 16. You're right.
Yeah.
But let's
So
say, go ahead. Let's say
now
16 wins that game, and they
uh,
got to go play Ohio State.
hmm?
Is that a close game?
Well,
Because I
I
just want good.
see,
I want to see
but
good
see,
product. I don't want
in
to see
this
blowouts
in
in the
this
playoffs.
in this particular thing, bro, like I don't like Ohio State just ain't beating the snot. Like Ohio State beat Texas 14-7 in Columbus.
If
So
it's
like
Yeah,
James Madison, it ain't gonna be a good game.
exactly. So like
they're about to beat the brakes
that's the
off
thing that
James
I'm talking
Madison.
about. Like we're talking about the number 17 team in the nation went to the
Hmm.
number 1 team in the nation and lost by 7 points. I think that's the parity down that we're seeing in college football, and that's why I think there needs to be more teams let in. Now,
Okay.
it's the first game of the season. There's a lot of jitters. There's a lot of things working
Hmm.
out. This and the third, right? I think right now, I think we can all confidently say we think Ohio State probably wins that game. Maybe they win it by 17. Maybe you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
the point is like you get some of these teams right that are still uber talented, like Miami sitting at 14. That's a tough out.
They're
That's
super
a
talented.
tough out. So
That's a good
I
point.
just would like to see that. You know what I mean? I would like to
And
see that.
and and you have to also throw in the fact. Let's say Miami, us, Tennessee, Texas.
Yep.
Put them in the Big 12. Are we still talking about BYU? I don't think so. Is Utah still on top? No, because you have, which I think we are number 23. I think Utah has a tough time with us. I think BYU has a tough time with us.
I like us against Utah. I like us against BYU.
And that's why we got to figure something out. So maybe you guys are right. Add it. Let's go to 16 teams. And then maybe then if you give it 16 teams, I'm definitely saying it's playoff or bust. That's every year because of the job Drink has done to date.
That makes sense.
Okay.
I think that's
so
fair.
let's talk about Oklahoma. Oklahoma's riding high. Just knocked off Bama. And we have to go there and get a win. Now, here's the thing that I typically do not like unless I am on that team. I don't like the ruining of someone's season. That's just a personal pet peeve of mine unless I'm playing on that team. But like J Mac said, we have something to play for. It's the recruiting trail. It's both high school and the transfer portal. So you want to go out and play your best, but now we're looking at Oklahoma, who has, in my opinion, one of the best defenses in the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to let Hardy go for 300 or even 200 for that matter. If he does, then yeah, Hardy, you got to leave this year. How do we beat them offensively, J-Mac? Were you talking about really a stout defense?
Well, here's the deal, right? So this was in my mind, right? I saw Hardy break one against A&M, and an A&M D lineman almost caught Hardy. Okay, I saw Hardy break a couple against Mississippi State, and he was running away from DBs. And I think,
yes, he was.
It's like I don't think Mississippi State tried to let him do that. I just don't think they got the pieces to be able to stop. But you know what I mean?
He was wired up for that game.
Yeah, he was wired up.
He was wired up. That's a lot of people don't know he's from Mississippi, and to not be recruited by some of those schools, I think that one kind of that hit different for him too. But that was special though. You're right, man.
But this is the first game where I thought, I didn't know he was fast too. And maybe you're right, Jim. Maybe Mississippi State just they don't have it.
Except for that receiver, that boy got wheels. I don't know who he is.
He can run, but maybe the DBs just don't have it in terms of opening up and running down tailbacks. But so you were saying, what do we do to win this game?
I think it's not even about what do we do. It's about just staying true to who we are. So I think we got to establish the run. I think we got to figure out ways to get that going. Spoon said something that really, now thinking back on it, we're such an off tackle outside zone team. Well, we hit him with a little inside zone, and that gives you, it gives you a little more freedom. You know what I mean? So I love that little wrinkle. But yeah, just finding different ways to just get him going. I think as long as he's not getting hit at the line of scrimmage, I like it, right? He's going to get you 5, 6, 7, right?
Great
it's
point.
when you get him before he starts, right? I think that's how you make it tough on us in the run game. And then defensively, right? Defensively, like them, it's a really, really good defense. They can get after the passer. I would love to see some of how we started that game against Mississippi State, right? It was take a shot, get the ball out. Here's a fast screen to Coleman, right? Here's a curl, here's a hitch, right? Here's my tight end right here.
It was beautiful.
It was actually the start of Mississippi State's game looked a lot like the ending of the Vanderbilt game in terms of the offense.
Yes.
And it was it worked.
The passing piece of it, yes.
The passing, yes.
But let's be honest. I'm gonna tell you what. In the Vandy game, we're kind of having to pass. I think the good thing about this Mississippi State game was that once you showed you can connect early, it just kind of put everybody at ease to where now once we get to running the way we normally run, it's like, well, if they can't stop it, we just gonna keep doing this.
Running the ball.
We ain't even got to get back to this. And I think that's what made us different too, man. If we're on time, so we get the quarterback's confidence early, like Max says, and then we're running that ball and staying above, in front of the chains.
Yes.
Then I think we'll definitely have a chance to go into Norman and make some hay. I think our defense will be up for the challenge, although I do think Oklahoma's going to play better offensively than they played last week, because if you look at their stats from last week's game, they should lose the game 2 times.
They should lose that game. So Spoon, I'm gonna challenge you here. I don't think Oklahoma plays that well on offense. They haven't really played that well since the first like 4 games.
Well, I'm
They've
just
kind of
thinking about how hard
struggled.
it is to go into Tuscaloosa and
Great
on
point.
the road and have a good, that's all I'm saying. At home,
Great
they'll
point.
just be a little bit more comfortable. I
Well,
don't think they're gonna
They're
gas
gonna
us.
play,
they had a pick six. They had a pick six. They had a pick six, which I mean, I'm not saying it's not a bad. I'm just saying.
but
So
that
the
just goes to
number,
show the
even that
offense.
23 is a little misleading because
They
they did
they
score
scored a quick
defensively.
10 off those 2 turnovers I saw.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
there was
So
I mean, they were
let's go through some
opportunistic
of
for sure.
those. Yeah, let's go through some of those offensive stats for Oklahoma versus Bama. Quarterback throws for 138. Leading rusher is 34 yards. Leading receiver 36 yards.
2.6 a carry.
So, you know what? Look, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'm gonna get my hopes up. We kind of match up well versus Oklahoma right now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I
They
like
don't
it.
have this high-powered offense. They're not stretching the field every play like an A&M may have done, and the defense is. I think our defenses are comparable. I would say they probably have a slight edge, because they get the ball out more than we have to date. But we got a shot to make this. I think Spoon said a couple weeks ago, it's got to get ugly.
And
I think it might be ugly. Go ahead,
it's
Spoon.
gonna be. Remember last year? It was ugly. It was like
Yeah.
It was an ugly game.
somebody had to pull it out. Like somehow the ball ended up on the ground. I think they scored one and we scored one on defense. It was just one of those games. Like, and I think
Yes.
it'll be a lot like that this weekend, man. And I think that suits us, especially for a road game with a young quarterback, because
Yeah.
ultimately you want to hand that thing off and
Yes.
let Hardy go ahead and show the country, on prime time, what he's made of. He hasn't had that prime time game that I think he's
Mm-hmm.
looking for. And I think if we can get that one, that'll solidify him as maybe being a first round talent. Well, he's a first round talent already, first round pick maybe.
I
And I
love
don't
it.
think we had a first round back out of Missouri. I don't think it's ever happened.
I know of. That would be a J-Mac question. You
I
might
have no
know.
I have no idea. Probably back in the day if we
Yeah,
have.
If
he's
at
going
all.
crazy. 300
Okay.
yards in the SEC.
Hey, look,
Sixth best
look.
performance ever. Second best at Mizzou all time.
Yeah.
300 is crazy. When I was at Mizzou, we gave up 300 yards to Roy Haley Jr.
Ooh,
in Nebraska.
Nebraska.
I
Oh
think
my
he might
God.
still have the rushing record from Nebraska, a single game. That was versus us. But it's neither here nor there. Let's get back on track. So, as it presently stands, statistically speaking, we are beating Oklahoma in terms of rushing the football. J Mac, do we come in that building and say, hey, look at me, I'm going to run the ball, see if you can stop it?
Yeah. Spoon said it best, man. When you go on the road, you got to pack your defense, pack your run game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
And,
just,
and
yeah.
me though, I'm packing that area attack. That's what
Mac, and it's
when
there.
I
It's there though.
when I
That's one
coach
thing we ain't
when
talk.
I
It's
coach
really
high
there.
school,
Let me hear you,
I'm
Spoon. What do you mean? Yeah.
I'm throwing it.
No, I know Simpson is a
Slow
dude.
down.
I know Simpson is a dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ty Simpson's a dude. Um, he threw for 330
Yeah, he had a game.
and at home
One pick.
and lost. So like I feel like the holes in the defense are there. Can we find those same? Can we? It's a copycat league a lot of times. Can you find those opportunities to get our guys the ball in those areas? And can we punch it in the end zone through the air? Can we? And
Mm.
we looked like we could do that last week. Manning catches one. The run after the catch was exceptional. Nobody want to tackle him. Obviously,
No.
Olubude, Olugbade. I want to.
Olubide
I
got
missed
a
the
Alubide,
deep
name.
ball. Yeah.
Alubide.
He
Yeah.
Olubide.
he is special. Just
He
finds the
is special.
ball. I think he might be. He's close to being like our top guy. I think Coleman's still the guy, but I
Still
think
leading us.
he's right there. He's right
But
there, man. So I think we have the guys to do it. Can the quarterback
okay.
deliver it?
I don't know. I
I
still
don't want to
think.
find out unless we have to.
Oh, great point.
I'd
Great point.
rather run that zone
So
inside and out.
I think it's safe for us to say, hey, look, this is still a freshman. You know what I mean? Let's kind of curb our enthusiasm.
Does
And
Bo
it's
have a
just,
chance this week?
I'm not sure. I haven't
Not
heard
sure.
much about this.
I saw him
And
working out pregame last week.
really,
Like they were he he was going through a good warm up, man. It was looking pretty promising too.
I
Well,
mean,
I'm
so
gonna
I
tell
wouldn't
you. I'm gonna
go
tell you
ahead.
guys one thing. Oklahoma's been solid against the run all year long.
Oh, they're magical.
The defense is special.
Yeah, they've been
So
solid
you're
against the
gonna
run all
have
year long.
to, but if we have a Mississippi State-esque kind of start to our game, maybe they soften up a little bit. Maybe. I don't and that's one of the questions I have for O coordinators and D coordinators. Because you come into a game, I mean, it's week 10, 11. You come into a game, who you are is who you are, but how much of it am I switching up based on what I saw happen to this team last week? And does it even work? Like if Bama had success through the air versus Oklahoma, they're not going to let that happen 2 weeks in a row. Like, how does that work in the mind of a play caller?
Well,
What changes do you make or not?
y'all know on defense, sometimes it doesn't really matter what defense you're in. Like the perfect play beats the perfect defense every single time. So like if you're in cover
Mm-hmm.
three, if you're in the match quarters, if you're in the cover two, right? Like there's
Mm-hmm.
holes in it. It's just the way it is. So like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a copycat league. You know what I mean? So I first and foremost, I look at my playbook and figure out, hey, if do I have something that resembles what you did, and if I
Mm-hmm.
do, how do I dress it up formationally to be able to put my guys in the spot, or can I manipulate your defense? Hey, maybe this is a check every time we have a sniffer in this position. You guys check this certain coverage. Then that's kind of how you
Mm-hmm.
do it. So it's a yeah. You take what you do well. You see
Yeah.
what everybody else has had success against that defense, right? And then you try to put your offense in those positions. And then if you gotta put in a new, formation for the week or a new personnel group or a new motion to be able to get you an advantage, and that's what you do. Um, all in all, like a lot of times, offensive coordinators, we all have the same thing. Like now, granted, like
Yeah.
sometimes your run game, some team can major in duo, you can major in gap scheme, you can major in zone.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be an
Mm-hmm.
inside outside zone team, right? I could be a gap scheme team. Hey, I like the way y'all ran inside zone, so let me see if we can
If I
put
can.
an inside zone this week. So
Yeah. Spoon, what are some of the defensive keys that we'll need to have in order to come out of Oklahoma with a win?
I think we have to settle down. I think we have to go into the
Mm.
game and play sound football without penalties, without targeting, and just play just know that it's going to be a grind, and you're going to have to win the game for your young quarterback on the road. Not necessarily going to have to score,
Yeah.
but you're going to have to keep it in a place where it's always, he goes out, he knows he makes one play, we can be back in the league. He makes one play, we possibly could put him away in the second half. It needs to feel like that instead of like, all right, guys, like I don't want the quarterback to have to rally the boys. So I think the
Yes.
defense has to, compliment them well from that standpoint of just going out, playing sound football and not getting penalties. If we don't get penalties, I know our guys will make plays. Look at those dudes, man. Those dudes, we got some
Yeah.
guys over there. I like Seven in the inside, Maclin. He's a great
Mm-hmm.
transfer. He came in 2 years ago. Has done a great job for us. And our bookends, it was great to see 19 finally get home too.
Yeah.
19 got home. He's been active. He got him a sack or two. I think Wilson and
He's a
Young,
loner
obviously, they're
kid.
just
Yeah.
Wilson and Young. I mean, they're special guys. And Trotter runs. He runs the alley. Sideline to sideline,
Mm-hmm.
just like you want to see it. Our cornerbacks, I didn't like Zero tussling down there, holding face masks and all that after the play
Yeah.
last week. It kind of reminded me of some of the stuff you see early in the year against Bama from other guys. And I
Mm-hmm.
think these guys, we're grown. We should be further along than where we are. Just right here. I think we just got to play solid football, man. I think we'll be good. But you got to stop that run. And if you stop the quarterback from having that untimely, one of those, that quarterback, he hit one of those runs, spinning, doing like
Yeah, he
15-yard
did.
touchdown run. That's ultimately like the biggest play of the game for their offense. So we got to
It
limit that,
was.
man. And I watched the Texas game. He will throw it up and give you a chance. So, I mean, maybe we could take it away from him. I think that'll behoove us.
I agree. So is it let's do score predictions.
but
Let's get into it right now. Oklahoma versus Mizzou. I'm gonna see. J Mac, you go first. What is your score prediction of this game?
I truly think that this is a game where we can go into Norman and knock him off. I really do. Uh, I am going to say, let's go 27-17.
You gonna give us 27 points?
27-17.
My boy don't be playing. You gonna give us 20?
27. All right. Spoon, what you got?
Hey, man, that 27 number ain't bad, Mac. But I'm gonna go 28 to 24. 28-24.
Oh,
It's gonna be a good one.
I'm gonna go because I got to ride with my Tigers. I'm gonna go 23-20.
Yeah,
Mizzou.
it's gonna be tight.
But you say that
Oklahoma's.
I legitimately there's not been a game where I legitimately thought that like we could not win the game. There hasn't been.
Let me think. I mean, so I'll be very honest. I'm
Hold
gonna
on, hold
show.
on, hold on. The A&M game, like going into it,
Yes, the A&M game was
I'm
the
with you
game I
going
was
into
like,
it, but and then
Once we was there, yeah, it's a different story.
yeah, once we're down 14 and a half, I'm like,
That's tough.
ooh,
That's tough.
yeah. We found out quickly that A&M was as real as they've been this whole
Yeah.
season.
yeah, but I was just like, man, if we don't come out right now and score, it's gonna be tough.
So I think I thought that we could beat A&M too, but I also came on the show the next week after A&M game thinking, you know what, it was my bad for drinking the Kool-Aid and thinking that we're gonna come in there with the true freshman and just fill up the stat sheet. So I don't want to. I thought we could beat A&M too, but I left that game thinking, Evan, you're a fan and you got to stop doing that. But give my score. I said 20-23. Anything else before we break this show?
Bama,
No, hey,
I'm sorry.
real quick, because people's batteries getting low. Real quick
Oh
though,
my goodness.
James Franklin at Virginia Tech. What do we think? Just real quick, real
I
quick.
don't like it.
Okay.
I don't like it. Like, I'm good for him and good for Virginia Tech, but I just see more for him.
I tell you this, they'll be back. They'll be back, man. It'd be good to see Virginia Tech back in the ACC looking the way they're supposed to look. Because I think what he did at Vandy was really good, and what he did at Penn State was really good. And if you give him a chance here, I mean, just following the trend, I think they'll be back to being a top 25 program. You know, you still got to go see it, right? Like it's different. You got to
Yeah,
get some guys in there.
I
Blacksburg's
yeah,
a cool place, though.
I like it.
that's true.
I
And it's the
like it.
ACC.
I like it. I like it.
I
I
think
think
that was, you know what? Take that back.
Happened quick,
Yes,
didn't it?
I do like it. I do like it too
I
because
like it.
I like that him over him going to LSU because you go to LSU, you might get beat up for
That's the type of
three,
job
four
you
years
want to
straight
take
again.
right there.
I
Like
like it.
he's like, you know
Yeah,
what? This the job I need to be at right now. Let's get them back in where they need to be. Then I can go back to the big dog if I want to after 7, 8, 10 years. You know.
yeah,
I thought I I thought a place like UCLA too, man. Just
Ooh,
a place with a
ooh,
bunch of resources who hasn't been good in a long time.
he
But
get out there and
I
get it.
guess Virginia Tech is the same way. I'm
it's the
not
same. I
that
think his
familiar with
road.
like everything they have to offer, but
Yeah,
like
No, me either.
you know,
But I
he
think
went for the
his
quad.
road.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Smoke. Go ahead.
Well, I feel like if I got to go L.A. or Blacksburg for, I kind of want to fly under the radar. I'll go to Blacksburg. Like
Yes, yes.
L.A. That's a little much, but you're right. That program is they. For them to get a good ball coach really soon would be
Hmm.
amazing to get that program back. The proximity where it is and what you can do,
Yeah, yeah.
NILs and all this, man. That place should be rocking.
I think his road back to the college football playoff is a lot smoother through VTech than it would have been through UCLA.
hmm?
The
Easy, yeah.
ACC is we don't know who who's the big dog. For a while, people thought Clemson was going to run the ACC for the remainder of Dabo's time, and we see it's a quick change. So, I changed my answer. I think I like the move because he has a shot at being a staple again in college football in Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Well, look, fellas, once again, it was a great night. Really enjoyed it again, man. We are your true sons. I am Kevin Rutland here with Jeremy Maclin and Sean Weatherspoon. We'll see you guys next week. MIZ, ZOU.